Nearly all school districts in Rhode Island can reopen for full in-person learning on September 14th. Good evening, I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. Governor Gina Raimondo made the announcement during her coronavirus briefing this afternoon. The governor says every district except Providence and Central Falls has met the 5 metrics needed to reopen this fall.
12 News reporter Sept Machado is live in Providence with details on these metrics and the date when all Rhode Island students are expected to be fully back in school. Steph?
Providence and Central Falls were the 2 cities that did not meet the COVID-19 metrics to reopen schools fully in person, but they can reopen partially. Governor Raimondo wants all the other school districts in Rhode Island to offer full in-person school at least by mid-October. Governor Gina Raimondo says every school district in Rhode Island other than Providence and Central Falls meets all 5 metrics to reopen fully in person on September 14th, while maintaining the option for parents to choose virtual learning.
And it is my expectation and our expectation and RIDE's expectation that that is exactly what you will do.
In Providence and Central Falls, neither city has fallen below the 100 case per 100 residents per week metric to reopen fully in person, but both can reopen partially. Providence, the state's largest school district, is planning to have all elementary school students come back, while middle and high schoolers will either start out fully distanced or alternating schedules. The state will reevaluate the COVID data in those 2 cities on October 13th to determine if they can bring back more students, potentially using different metrics.
We are going to start to focus a lot more on percent positive.
Not every district that is allowed to fully reopen is currently planning to do so. At least 3, Warwick, Pawtucket, and Cumberland, have voted to start school with full distance learning.
I am hopeful that some of these school committees who've made these decisions will now do the right thing and reverse those decisions now that we have this new information. If they don't, certainly they'll be exposing themselves to any number of lawsuits on behalf of parents.
The state's new guidance says districts can take 4 weeks to gradually ramp up to full in-person learning, but should get there by October 13th. And again, the option for virtual learning is still there for parents who are not comfortable sending their kids back to school. For example, in Providence, 6,500 kids have been enrolled in the Virtual Learning Academy, while the district believes about 8,500 will be in school in person on September 14th under their partial reopening model. Live in Providence, I'm Sept Machado, 12 News.
New at 5:30, we wanted to know if schools are prepared for the students' return. 12 News reporter Sept Machado joins us now.
While the state says almost every school district has hit the metrics to reopen fully in person and Providence and Central Falls can reopen partially, there is still one more hurdle to overcome, and that is a walkthrough inspection by Department of Health officials of every school building this week. The inspectors will be looking to see if districts have actually put into operation the plans for their buildings that they submitted to RIDE earlier this summer to make sure it's safe for kids to go inside.
If our team goes in there and does the walkthrough and finds it's not up to snuff, like you say the children are social distanced, but it's not possible. They have big tables, it's not possible. You say you've made provision for ventilation, but it's not good enough. Then we will not allow that school building to open. They will have to remain, the facility will remain closed. The children can learn either in another building, in another building or distance learning until we work with the facility to bring it up to code.
And as we've reported, the state has opened a new education operations center staffed in part by the National Guard and other agencies that does plan to help schools if their buildings are not ready for the first day on September 14th. Live in Providence, I'm Sept Machado, 12 News.